Alright, nobody's hanging out yet, but I got somebody building a computer. He'll be in a minute. Go ahead and blow some reserves, get out there, get started. Gonna do some free XP. I can actually afford it money-wise right now. So why not? Okay. Turn down my filter, it's a little loud. Man, I need a nice silent fan. I get warm up here and all I want is some moving air, really. Could always turn on my ceiling fan, but it gets a bit loud when it's at full blast, even on low. Oh good. I hate this map with any artillery. There's only two really good setup places. Right here, for the engagement line over here. Sorry, that was a little bit curved. And then right here, it shoots over there. Alright, let's get them. I actually really liked my 155, but this is far faster when it gets going. Let's see if they go for that. Ouh.
C'est pas tombé loin.
Another direct hit.
C'est pas tombé loin.
Or at least close, right next to him. Ooh, there's another already hit. Probably tracked him again. And put another one in him. Direct hit. Whoever they are over there, they're getting fucked up. He was quite fucked up. Okay, so now I'm moving to a location where I'll be able to assist Canyon, because the other two artillery seem to have the other location pretty taken care of. So I'm going to get in here and let it rip. Direct hit defender, stun the T-34B as well. Bit of a snapshot, but let's renew that stun on the defender. He just removed the stun, so I'm gonna need to reapply that as well. This is a sneaky shot. One I shouldn't take. Defender seems to be going around. Oh, there's the 34. Direct hit on his hatch. Holy crap. That got lucky as hell. That was nowhere near where I was aiming. Direct hit on the hatch. Perfect stun. I got 100% of his health. Ace. That was wonderful. Now I'm going to help up north again. Really don't have much flexibility if they decide to go around the corner, though. It's the one problem I got with support. Let me move up a bit. There we go. Oh, right over him. If there were civilians, sure. But thank goodness that there isn't. What's up, Templar? I'm gonna be... Oh, shiza. Oh, okay. That was about to be a problem. Then again, their artillery can see me, so it's still a problem. There I go. Oh, boy. Their artillery got a real good shot on me. Fuck. Well, isn't that fun? I'm going to be going to New Vegas in about 2 hours. When this timer up here, this 1 hour, 52 minutes, when this is over, I'm playing New Vegas. So, just so you have a dead set number, if you need to go back, if you need to leave and come back, you know, just be like, oh, okay, I have 38 minutes now. Okay, I'm going to go fuck off until he plays tanks. You could do that too, that's fine, but I'd stick around because it is some pretty cool stuff. Oh, the timer? I'm uploading in 1080, so hopefully it's it looks okay. Did you crank the resolution? Wait, are you watching on your mobile phone? That might be why. Because I mean, there's only so much resolution they can cram onto a phone and it still be legible. Oh, well. I don't know what to say. No real solution to that one. Like, I've got two 34-inch 4K monitors, but I'm running the game in 4K at, well, hang on, let me check. Yeah, 3840 by 2160 and 16 by 9 ratio, of course. Maximum field of view and ultra, I believe. Or improved ultra. So it's literally as high definition as I could possibly get without going and buying an 8K monitor, so unfortunately that's as big as it'll get for you. I might be able to switch it. Well, actually I could switch it to 1080p and it'll clear right up. I bet you. I bet you'll be able to read it too. I don't know why this Emil's blocking me. I need to go right. Thank you. I weigh like twice as... Oh, I don't weigh twice as much as the 60, though. There we go. Excuse me. 60 TP, that tier 10 Polish monster is definitely a force to be reckoned with. That thing is a hardcore tank. Who knew the Poles could pull off? Who knew the Poles could pull off such a good tank? I thought, oh shit, Harry, you're fucking hilarious, man. All right, 430. Come on now. You know what's going on here. You know why I'm here. Can you kindly fuck off? You got a wit about you, Templar, and I appreciate your love of history. Oh boy. Nothing out there. Nothing I can shoot. I'm setting up this way so that if somebody does get shot, it's me. Not anybody else. The 430 is not great at blocking, although this needs to be improved. Here comes the T-30. And the Waffentrager. He's pretty exposed, although neither of them are actually exposed. I don't have a shot on either. They're both up on the sniper's nest, way over here by their base. There's the T-30 again, still can't hit it. I might make a push. There's only a heavy down there. Type 5, Type 4, whatever. Yeah, Type 4. I just hope that 430 doesn't get hit in the side. If not, then I'll be okay. Oh, hell yeah. Totally. Oh yeah, this is not how war works, dude. I totally get that. Dude, you should see city maps. It's hilarious. It's all Type 5s and Mouses. Like, that's it. It's just super heavy tanks. That's it. In Clan Wars, anyway. That Type 4 Heavy really wants me to visit him. Or at least I want to visit him. Got him. See, that's what you do when you have a big gun with you. And the 430 did it just right. Four, three. He was still there. He was still there. Yeah, it's the Panzer 8, yeah. Oh yeah, that's the tier 10, dude. Most tier 10s didn't exist. This tank did not exist. I mean, physically. It existed on paper. And that's where they get all their tier 10s. Almost all their tier 10s are theoretical vehicles. But I'm okay with that, because it's fucking cool. Pimp Jaeger. Pimp Jaeger. Yeah, I'll show it to you, actually. I don't have it yet, but it's in the tech tree. Okay. Tech tree, Germany. Mouse. Right now it's the Santa Mouse. Or, yeah, instead of Santa Claus because of the Christmas event. Yeah, I know. But you want to see something that's really key? The Kronwagen right now is the Krampuswagen. So it looks dope AF. Look at this thing. It's like Satan's tank. This is so cool. The Krampuswagen. Look, it's got like lizard skin. Freaking, oh, that is so cool. It looks so dope. It's stupid, but it's dope. Let's see. Oh yeah, if you haven't seen most of the really, really good ones, for the United States of America, first of all, the T92 HMC has the largest gun in the game. At, I think it's 24 centimeters. 240 millimeters of boom. Hits for an average damage of 1300, but keep in mind that's on a penetration. So it never really hits for that much damage. Now, when it comes to the most damage, we can go over to what used to be the Death Star, the FV-215B-183, and is now the FV-4005. Or, I'm sorry, the other tank was replaced, not this one. But the FV-4005, they call it the ship barn because if you take a look at its survivability, it's going to be 14 millimeters on all sides, front, side, and rear. 14 millimeters. And by the way, that's an average of the vehicle. The turret has near like 4 or 5, something like that. It's basically sheet metal. And then this down here is where all the rest of it is, the chunky 20 millimeter on all sides. But other than that, it's just the ship barn. But the gun is bonkers. It can hit for 1438 and it can go up to 25% higher than that. So you can have, I've seen hits for 1900, something like that. Only if it pins, and it's got to hit something paper thin with lots of health, which is pretty rare. You know, because the HESH ammunition that it uses, like, it uses AP and then it uses HESH, which HESH basically has all the properties of heat, where if it penetrates, it delivers HE damage. But unlike heat, where it explodes on the surface no matter what, it has well, unlike heat, it can't bounce. Heat can bounce and then cause no damage, but with HESH, it explodes on the surface regardless of if it penetrated or not. So, if it penetrates, it delivers a shitload of damage. If it doesn't, it still delivers a huge chunk of damage. It's just not, you know, enough to knock out a huge tank. Oh, hell yeah. But see, that's the thing, is that they did take into thought the weight of the vehicle and the weight of the turret. The gun and the turret here weigh less than half of the bottom of the tank. Like, this drivetrain, the tracks, the crew compartment, equipment, everything weighs more than double of this tank, of this turret, and the gun combined. Like, it weighs nothing north of the hull. Almost nothing. But no, the Badger was the replacement for the FV-215B that, by the way, had the same gun as the FV-4005. But they took out the 215B-183, nicknamed the Death Star, to bring in the Badger, which makes a lot more sense. This is a front armored vehicle. Actually, 355 up front is not to be irked, or not to be, you know, disrespected. It can be hit for a whole lot more than that and still not take a penetration. So it's pretty crazy armor. Let's see here. Artillery. Super Conqueror is a pretty unique vehicle. It has spaced armor surrounding the turret, as you can see. It has like a shield that goes around the turret, attached by rebar, looks like, pretty much, reinforced steel bars, and then the actual turret itself. So any heat ammunition that explodes on the surface of stuff, or anything that will penetrate very, very well but just explodes right behind it, would be very useful against this tank. You'll penetrate the shield and then it will explode right behind it, but it'll deal maybe 120 damage, when if you penetrate it'll deal 750. So it makes a big difference. But basically the strength of this tank is how deep this gun can point. It can almost point directly toward the ground. And the advantage of that is when you're cresting over a hill and you're heading over that hill, you're able to point downward behind the hill to hit things over the hill. And they can't pen shit because you've got a very good turret surrounded by spaced armor. So it's kind of the cheat tank. Now, if this thing is on a flat surface, though, I mean, the sides are huge, the side of the turret is huge, the lower panel is its weak point, the panel up here can be pinned pretty easily if it's not angled. So, and of course the back is butter, but that's every tank. So it's a real shame that this is so overpowered in one way, but then otherwise it's kind of poop. And come on, yep, exactly, spaced armor. This isn't quite ballistic armor, but it's reactive armor, but it's spaced armor. So really, its only intent is to stop or is to aid penetration diffusal, but also, or I'm sorry, deferment. That's it. But also to pretty much make heat ammunition completely useless. So anyway, well, this is Great Britain. Who cares? America, Sheridan. Oh yeah, actually, this is a pretty cool tank to show off. The T-49 light tank. This tank goes through a massive transformation when you upgrade it. If we swap out the turret for the XM551, it becomes a spaceship. Like, this thing is super slender, really well shaped, and very difficult to penetrate for low caliber rounds. So, you know, any same tier or lower light tanks, same tier mediums have a hard time getting through it. It's a pretty decent turret. But when you upgrade the gun, it gets even crazier. At 152 millimeter howitzer, you're able to put out shitloads of damage if you pen, and then quite a lot if you don't with the HE. It's better than having a gun that hits fairly well, but, you know, if it doesn't pen, it deals nothing. The 90 millimeter. So, anyway, let's see. Anything else in America worth noting? Of course, you know, like the M4 Sherman. It's one of my favorite tanks. Actually, I've got it in the garage. Can't click view in garage. That's strange. Hang on a second. Let's see. America, Tier 5. Reserve. There it is. My M4 Sherman. I put it in reserve because I rarely use it, but I've got the commander's name is William Sherman. I made sure to name him. But everything else is pretty sweet. It's a nice tank. Decent damage with the howitzer. Average armor. It was wiped out easily by a Tiger in real life, and it'll pretty much do the same in this game. But I will say, though, that the Tiger is horrendously underpowered in this game. It could be way better than it is. T-95, the original super heavy that America came up with, I call it the Lamborghini tank. This thing is a quad-tracked nightmare. The only weak spot is the roof where it has its fuel tanks, 2 tanks that are just sitting right there. So artillery fire can really pound that. Otherwise, it's going to be invincible. You cannot penetrate the front of this tank. Don't even try. The only place I've ever penned was right here on the lower panel. It is tiny. See where that hole is? Pretty much right there, and I hit it twice with the Waffenträger Borsig tank destroyer. Let's see here. Yeah, if it's able to get around it. Totally. That's why they had to have 3 of them to take out most of the tanks, and they weren't M4 Shermans. They were M4A3E2 jumbo Shermans. It's the only damn thing that could kill it. Yeah, this one. The M4A3E2, which was an upgraded version with better angled armor, whole lot quicker, whole lot, you know, just a whole lot better in general. Hang on a second. Okay, sorry, I got pounded on my phone. But yeah, this is the M4A3E2. When you upgrade the gun, I believe it goes to a 76. You gotta upgrade the turret though. There we go. The 76 on top is really nice. You can put the 105 from the Sherman, but there's no real reason to, considering you can have a much better gun with this one. Better DPM. I want to get back to the action, so let me see. T3, M3 Lee is an abortion. T29, T32 is a pretty infamous tank. Everyone knows this one. The American World War II top of the line tank that they had. The best tank that they... Oop. Gotta upgrade the suspension, then upgrade the turret, then upgrade the gun. There we go. So this was the best thing that America had in World War II when it came to armored vehicles. But it was deployed very late. Like, the war was practically over. Let's see, 46 Patton, T30, T49. Hang on a second, I'll be right back. Alrighty. But yeah, of all these, the T69's one I want. The T57 Heavy's a pretty dope looking heavy tank. This is a magazine fed heavy tank. So it's got, I believe, 3 or 4 rounds in the magazine before it has to reload. 4 shells in the magazine. 2 seconds between each shot. 25-second magazine reload. But it's a pretty sweet tank. I like the shape of the turret. Of course, this is a skin that was applied because I just got the skin from the winter event. From the box unboxing video that I did, so definitely check that out. It's called Absolute Mad Lad Opens 300 Holiday Ops 2019 boxes. Definitely check that out. I think it was a live stream, and I was stuck in my bed, so I had to do it from a headset. I couldn't get over to my microphone because I had a horrible back injury, so pretty crappy. But anyway, this is pretty cool. I like the shape of the turret. This actually rocks back and forth over this pivot point right here. So, you know, you can elevate the gun, you can depress the gun, and the whole turret in the back goes up or down depending on what you're doing. It's pretty cool. Nice tank. Anyway. T71DA, this is actually my favorite light tank. And I wish it would just show what it's like in my garage, for fuck's sake. Can I just see it, please? Tier 7, America Light. There it is. Dope camo. But actually, there's a different camo pattern you're able to apply for each season. The winter looks like a cow, and then the desert just looks like, you know, standard marine kind of colors. But each of them have blackjack on the front, the inscription blackjack, and then they've got the emblems of the Ace of Clubs and the King of Clubs, which is a blackjack for you geniuses out there. So yeah. Let's see here. Boop boop. Okay, so back to the tree. Really, where the interesting shit is Russia and Germany. We're very familiar with our hardware, but not many people are aware of German hardware and what they had at the high end that they never got to deploy. Like the Grill 15, also known as Long Dong McFrickin' You Up. Look at this thing. It's the most accurate gun in the game. It's definitely a sniper type tank. The turret is very weakly armored, but the hull is pretty impressive. The only thing is that you don't want to be in the front lines in a firefight with this tank. You want to be way in the back. You want to be right at the render distance to where you would be able to see them if they're spotted, but where they could never see you without being spotted. I mean, the muzzle brake on it is pretty crazy. And all in all, it's just a great tank. Very capable. If I go back to the garage, I could show you mine. Very impressive vehicle. I do love it. Check this out. I mean, this is with a unique skin that they added with the Holiday Ops event. It's one I won out of a box, wrapped in camo, and it's got like a anti-grenade shield around it, or at least that's what they called it. I think it's kind of dumb, because it wouldn't really help you from frag grenades or anything. But very cool tank. The accuracy numbers are off the charts. The damage is off the charts. It's like, yeah, 750 average per shot. You could do about 1,000 damage easy. About 279 on the penetration side. You can crank that up to 349 using heat ammunition. 50-50 gun traverse limits, 50 degrees to the left, which is out to about here. and 50 degrees to the right. So you have a huge gun traverse. Now the only problem is that, of course, when something's behind you, you got to turn the gun and turn the tank to get to it as quickly as possible. 15-second reload time, not terrible. The GWE 100, actually, I'm going to go ahead. I have all the good tier 10s. The GWE 100 is the artillery at tier 10 for Germany. It's not super fast, but it has excellent fire rate for its caliber and good average damage. And it has actual armor. And that was what is so appealing about it, is it's right in the middle of the road when it comes to artillery. Because there are a lot of different ones, trust me. I mean, look at this French one. The Batchat 155-58 has a 3-round magazine, so it's a magazine-fed artillery. It also has a full turret, so it's able to turn around 360 degrees, and it moves extremely quickly. Where is it? Yeah, 62 kph, so it's really, really fast. Oh yeah, that would be good. Yeah, the Paris gun or something like that. Yeah, they're never going to do that shit. Actually, they have already vowed to never add any more artillery because it's, quote, too toxic for the community. It's because kids are crying that they can't hide behind frickin' rocks and take care. You know what? I already yelled about this a couple streams ago. I don't want to fucking... The Jagdpanzer E100 is my favorite tank German army ever was responsible for. This one is a monster. This thing has the capability of punching through literally any armor in the game if it has heat loaded. You can have about 420 millimeters of penetration with this tank, or with this gun, which I believe is higher than any single plate of armor in the game. So, average, you can wipe out anything, but only if you actually pin. If they have angled armor, it might bounce. That's just how it sets up, but you have a very high chance of penetrating using this tank. The Stritzvon 103 Bravo, this thing's pretty cool. I'll actually show it up next, I think, because I'm running out of reserves here. The Type 5 Heavy, the Japanese super heavy tank. This is the biggest tank in the game currently, and the biggest caliber of heavy gun in the game. But it only shoots HE, so it just explodes on the surface of whatever tank it's hitting. Don't get me wrong, if it does penetrate a light tank or a medium tank, you're going to see it go up in a one-shot. But if you're hitting other heavies, it's more of just trading damage back and forth. The Defender, the Object 452, I think, 252 Defender. This thing is super cool. It's basically an IS-3 with excellently angled armor and very thin side armor plate. So this plate here that you need to be able to punch through is very hard to hit because it's so short, but it's very, very well armored. But really, this plate is the one that's dangerous, the side plates, because of how well angled they are. The turret is well angled on all sides as well. The front is nigh impenetrable. This pike nose setup is really nice, especially when your thickest plate of armor, as you can see right here, is the lower plate, so it's hard to penetrate through it, especially when it's angled like that. But it's just an excellent Soviet tank. Yeah, that's the thing, is that when it came to Japanese armor, they never really made any. Even if you look back at, Japanese military history, they rarely had any armored vehicles. I mean, look at this. There's only 2 trees here. But it's not that... It would be hard to find them in footage. You might find the Chi-Ni, you might find the Chi-Ha, a tank like this, the Chi-Ni, or perhaps the Chi-Ha, but that's about it. You won't really see... Yeah, this is very T-26 Russian, so this is very familiar to a lot of Russian tank enthusiasts. But that's about it. Now, you can get into the super heavies. They start with the T-95 at tier 4. This is a very heavy, very hard to kill tank at tier 4 anyway. At tier 5, the OI Experimental becomes massive. This is a land ship, and it's very flat. Very easy to penetrate on the side armor. OI is even bigger and has a huge gun. But look at this nice flat side. I mean, holy crap. The turret on all sides is flat. It just depends on what angle you come at it. The back's hilarious. I mean, this is just a poopy tank. I actually ended up skipping all the way through the Japanese heavies. Oni just gets bigger, taller. It's just... ugh. And then you go to the oh-ho. Oh-ho. It has a smarter shaped turret. Not the best, but smarter. Still flat sides, but that's the thing, though, is that everything above this sprocket right here is actual armor. Everything below is just a side skirt. So even if you punch through this panel right here and you enter the tracks, you're only going to track it, because by then the round no longer has penetration to be able to pass through the track and into the hull. There's no way unless you're firing like a, Jagdpanzer at it. The Type 4 Heavy is the Tier 9. That was the thing I didn't have any problem charging on the bridge, and for good reason. This panel can be blasted. Both sides of the gun at these slits, and actually a little bit further to the left and right, can be blasted. And that's just by regular AP, not even heat. And the side of the tank, I mean, the whole thing is hilarious for a Jagdpanzer. It'll punch the shit out of that tank. And of course the Type 5 that I have is the Tier 10 monster. So, anyway, let's see, Japanese. Let's go back to German, because there's still some good ones. You've seen the Jagdpanzer, you've seen the grill with its long dong McHugen penis. The GWE 100 artillery. Let's take a look at the mouse again. I wish that I could remove that skin, but it's a holiday event right now, so they just crammed it on there. But this is actually what it does look like. They just, remove the vinyl and the damn hat and the glasses and the bag. And it does have a beautiful shape. And it's a very tough tank. This actually has, I think, 3,000 health. Yeah, 3,000 health, the most health in the game. Not even the Type 5 Heavy has that much. 200 up front, 185 on the sides, 160 in the rear. This is a very armored tank. Very well made. But the Jagdpanzer can still fuck it. Now, at 128mm gun as well, it's better than the Tier 10 Russian tank, I believe, unless it's 152. Let me check on that. Let's see, you can either go 705 Alpha, IS-7, 277, 130, so it is a little bit superior. Penetration's decent, gun is awesome. I mean, the accuracy's crazy too. This is a very long barrel, very well angled armor. This is crazy. Yes, it would have. However, it was too heavy to operate on anything other than compact asphalt or tundra. Like, there were no deployable theaters for the mouse. That's the saddest part. So even if they did develop it and even if they did finish it, I mean, there were only 2 hulls that existed and 1 turret. So, and by the way, the hull is not accessible anymore. They welded it shut, and they studied it and welded it. Apparently there was some really cutting-edge technology inside that tank that Germany made, and when the Americans found it, they recorded it and then sealed it so that no one could see it. Yeah, well, the Soviets didn't find it. Actually, the Germans, or the British, found it. They found it in a tank production facility that was recently bombed, and then they were forced to abandon it, so they blew up a lot of the stuff that was there, but they all ended up leaving, and then the Brits came in behind them and discovered, the monster that would have killed us all, Hitler's mouse, because that was a crazy tank. But anyway, back to Germany. We're missing a couple. Panzerkampfwaffe 7, yeah, Kampfenwagen. Now, this thing is great because it has a rear turret, and the reason that's so great is not on hills, it's garbage, but say you are behind a building, and say the enemies are in this direction, and you're able to turn your gun over to here, and then back out in this direction, away from the wall. That way, the enemy only has this to look at, and maybe only the right half of it, right? So, it cuts off right here, and then they've got this to see. So if they're looking at a gun pointing at them, and then angled armor here, and then, basically nothing but tracks down here, lots of spaced armor along the side. You see these 1, 2, 3, 4 panels here, spaced armor. The only target they have is right here. And that's if they have the penetration to pen that, because it's pretty darn thick. But that's the only thing. That's its only weakness, is pounding right there. Because when this thing is turned at you, it's scary. It's hard to kill it around a corner. Very. Let's see. E100. This was the offense choice to the defensive mouse. So this was the one with, well, I'll show you. The 150 millimeter howitzer. The KWK, or the Koppenwagen cannon, I think they called it, L-38. 750 average damage, so just as much as the Grill 15. This thing will hit hard as hell. It can fire 3 rounds a minute, so you've got a 20-second reload time. The Grill 15 can fire every 15 seconds. But it doesn't have armor. This does. I will say one thing, though, is that the front of this turret is pretty much invincible to every tank in the game, except the Jagdpanzer E100. I love punching through the front of the turret and then just watching them back up. They're just like, what just penned the front of my turret? I'm like, yeah, 420 blaze it penetration, bro. The lower panel's hilarious for the Jagdpanzer as well, but when you're facing this thing in anything else, be careful, because actually, let's take a look at the side panels again. That rolled steel around the tracks, that shit is hard to pin. I'm telling you. E50, Leopard 1, the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen. This is currently the fastest tank on paper in the game. Hits a breakneck speed of 75 kilometers an hour. I do know that there's a Tier 2 tank, I think, that goes a little bit faster. The Panzer 1C is clocked in at about 80, but that's a Tier 3 tank. At Tier 10, this is by far the fastest tank. Oh, yeah. And I believe you can upgrade the gun on it. No. Okay, so that's it. That is the maxed out Tier 10. Which is cool. I like how the gun goes up and down. The turret does nothing, pretty much. It's just the gun that pivots at this hinge that points up into the air. Pretty neato. Okay, so that does it for Germany. Let's quickly switch over to Russia. The 268 is a really nice tank destroyer. Front armor, nice and bulky. Huge 152 millimeter M64 howitzer. And the armor, I mean, look at the angles. If you look at it from here, it's got the classic pike nose IS-7 style of Russian heavy armor, but it's much thicker because it's built to be the leader on the charge. The side panels on the front of the turret are very angled as well. The only weakness on it is the turret on the side. Other than that, it's a pretty damn awesome tank. It even has the log. Look at that. Everybody loves a log. And the tools to dig it out. See, Russians were smart. They did a lot of great things, especially during World War II. 268 version 4. Now this is a unique 268. The entire front, like this is a reinforced panel, so it's hard to pin. This is a extremely angled panel, so it's hard to pin. The rooftop here, or the top of the hood, you'll never pin, because you can't hit it unless they're leaning forward, so don't bother. The sides of this gun can only be penetrated by the Jagdpanzer and a couple of other high penetration tank destroyers, but that's about it. These side panels here, when you hit them from the front, they'll just bounce right off. I mean, don't even. Now, if you're on the side like this, I would suggest aiming for the star or the panel behind it. But otherwise, in the front, you're kind of screwed. And the gun's great, too. Drops 650 a shot. And it fires very quickly. Reload time of 16.3 seconds. I've seen people get it down to 12. So, T100 LT. This is a very unique looking light tank. Look how flat as shit that turret is. Look at that. That is super flat. I don't think there's any upgrades for it. No. Okay. Project for the light tank with 100 armament. Jointly developed by Research Institute No. 100 and GSKB 47, State Specialized Design Bureau, in the mid-1960s. This vehicle featured decent armor that could protect it from 90mm shells in case of frontal impact at any distance. Because although the armor's pretty decent, but it's not awesome, it's angled. So it just bounces right off. And yeah, people do call it the pancake tank because it is very, very short. And it's very fast, too. Let's take a look. 720 horsepower, about 48 horsepower per ton. You can go about 72, so 3 less kph than the German Tier 10, but it reverses a little bit quicker, and it traverses way faster at 58.41 degrees per second. Very nice tank. I love the T100 LT. I can't wait to get it. Right now I've got the 438, and I'll show that to you, which is a premium tank, or 432, but it's very similar in design, as you can see. But it's pretty much the Tier 8 premium Tier 10 Russian. And I got some sick paint on this thing. It looks super cool. Anyway. Object 140 is the iconic medium tank, Russia. You've seen it all over. You've seen a couple in some, in the Tiananmen Square massacre or issue thing event. T62A is good. 430U is good. K91's pretty crazy. This thing is hard to pin. I mistake it for a heavy all the time. This is a medium tank, and it's got great armor, and especially on the turret. This thing is angled as shit. It is so hard to pin anywhere on the turret of that tank. At distance, don't even bother. 705 Alpha. This is a pretty good tank front end wise. Great heavy, great gun. And the turret is just, I mean, look at that. Good luck penetrating that shit. That's just so dumb. Like, the Russian tanks are super OP in this. And it's only because they're realistic. I find at the end of the day that they had far superior heavy tanks. The IS-7 is the IS-7. This is the most iconic heavy tank in the world. I think it was only on paper, but it was pretty crazy. Yeah, development started in the spring of 45. Prototypes were successfully underwent trials in 46 and 47. However, the IS-7 never saw mass production. But this would have been a great answer to the mouse. It was much more mobile, and you could get, 2 or 3 of these for the cost of a mouse. The Russians were very good at cost efficiency, but they were also willing to make 10 shitty tanks instead of one great one. So that says a lot for the men inside. The Object 261 is the Russian artillery at Tier 10. This is a pretty cool gun. The only problem is that it's, although it's very fast in a straight line, it can't really turn that well, and it's very accurate and it shoots very quickly, but it also has no gun traverse. Let me look at this. 5 degrees in either direction. So pretty much you are not going to be tracking a target. You will be hitting stationary targets and stationary targets only. So that's the part that sucks. France, they've got some very cool futuristic looking tanks. The Foch B, magazine fed tank destroyer, the AMX M454 Heavy. This is a pretty cool, very hard to kill tank actually. Most French tanks don't have armor, but that one definitely does. The 50B is built a little bit better in terms of angling, but not better in terms of armor. It's a little thinner, but the gun is very good. It's a very good gun. I believe, yeah, 400 damage per shot, 29.16 second reload of the whole magazine, 2.5 seconds between each shot, and 4 shots per magazine. So this thing will pound something for 2,000 damage very easily. Batchat 25 ton. This is my favorite medium and one that I hope I get one day. Let's check out the modules. Oh no, the gun. That's right. This thing's very fast and has a great fire rate. It's just a wonderful tank. Very cool little zipper tank. AMX 30B, no one cares. 13105, this is a very nice light tank. Teeny weeny little light tank. And it has the same turret style with the, membrane, the leather membrane that connects the top and the bottom of the turret. Very cool, Kanye. Let's see. And of course the Batchat 155-58, which I'll show you soon. Czechoslovakia has a very nice Tier 10. It's the only tank line they have as medium tanks. This is the TVP 5051, magazine fed as well. Extremely quick, decent armor. It's just, it kills. 320 damage per shot, and there's 4 shots in the mag. So for a medium tank, it can put the damage down. It can bring that hammer real quick. Japanese, I showed you. China. They have a full line of tank destroyers here that are labeled FT, T26G FT, M36 FT, Su-76G FT, 60G FT, blah 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 blah. FT stands for fake tank. They fabricated this entire tank line because people wanted tank destroyers for China. I don't know why, don't ask me. The 111-5A is a really good heavy. I've come across it a couple times. As you can see, it's pretty designed around Russian designs. The only thing missing is the pike front. But it has very thick armor otherwise. It's not very quick, but it matches that with armor very well. 132-1, don't really care. Poland. Now the 60 TP, you'll see what I mean by, damn, the muscle. This gun is huge, and it's extremely accurate. The turret is impenetrable. It's even thicker than the Russian armor, but it's a little less angled. So if you get a good pen gun, you'll be able to pen it easier than the IS-7. But it's still just really formidable. Up front, the only thing you're penning is these little viewports. That's pretty much it. The lower panel's crazy, the upper panel's crazy, the sides of the turrets are crazy. The mantlet here is impenetrable because it's not only angled, but it's the thickest part of the tank. It's just frustrating. And then the side armor, look. As you can see, this is a side skirt. This is not armor. So that is spaced armor that when you hit it, makes all the rounds useless if they hit the tracks. They'll track it, but that's about it. It won't go any further. You have to penetrate this. This thin little line on the side of the tank. This thing is a monster. I love the 60 TP and I can't wait to get it. Now, there is a tier 8 that's very good, but the 50 TP, 53 TP, 45 TP, 40 TP, it goes all the way down. Poland. Sweden. 2 very unique tanks, the Sturv 103 Bravo being one. This is a tier 10 that has a very unique suspension system. As you can see, the gun is fixed. So how the hell is it going to turn? Well, pretty much the designers in the Swedish military said, hey, we want to make some really low-profile tank destroyers, but the only problem is that damn turret. It just makes the tank way too tall. And the researchers went, okay, well, let's remove the turret. And they're like, cool. Okay, now how do we turn the gun? What they did, and this shit is genius, they used a high horsepower per ton jet turbine engine. This is, I think, the mid-70s. Yeah, 1971 is when they started. So this thing had a jet turbine engine similar to the M1 Abrams does today, and it uses that and all that power to basically go into siege mode and then turn the entire tank wherever it wants to aim, up, down, left, right. I'll show you how it works, but it's really, really cool. Also, little known trivia, here are the machine guns. And 2 boxes right here that you can remove and put back. And then this is a supply box over here. This is actually a pair of machine guns that can be controlled from inside. They shoot through this little heat shield, as they call it. This is basically, this does the same thing spaced armor does. When a heat ammunition hits it, it explodes and doesn't continue and penetrate the tank. Very cool. The 103.0 is right before it. You can see how there were improvements for the 10. But this is a very cheese wedge-shaped tank. Very nice for bouncing most ammunition, except heat. If it gets hit right here with heat, there's a problem. UDES 03 is an even more unique one. This thing will sit up and squat down better than any other tank because, as you can see, the gun goes all the way to the rear of the tank. And basically, it will lean forward to where it's angled like this, like horribly angled, and then the gun will be sticking out like a pencil. It's really weird looking. You can actually look over hills with this thing. Very crazy. And then one last, Italy. The Progetto 46 is the one that I have, the premium, but the Progetto 65 is their tier 10. This is one of the best medium tanks in the game because of the extremely angled turret armor. Looks like a bug. And it has a magazine-fed 360 damage per shot gun. That is very effective, and it has an auto-reloading system. It has a 4-round magazine that takes 9.6 seconds to reload the first round, 11.5 to reload the second, 13.4 to reload the third, and 15.3 to reload the fourth. So if you want a full magazine, or I'm sorry, that is for the whole magazine, I think. Oh no, that is it. Okay, so for a full load, it's 49.86 seconds, with 2.5 seconds between each shot, but each one takes longer and longer to reload. So the strategy is take one shot, let it reload, because it only takes 9.6 for that one. You know, so anyway, a lot of talking, very little tanking. I'm going to take the LT out and then I'll do the Sturv. China, number 1. Not so much. Fucking Russia and Germany are number 1. By far. So yeah, man, you doing okay tonight? Everything good? Oh yeah, I was watching a PewDiePie video today and I went to it when it only had 6 views. You know how hard it is to do that? This shit was awesome, right when it dropped. Golden Freddy, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. I don't think I've met you before. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see tonight, click subscribe, click the little bell so you're notified of future releases and streams, blah blah blah. Stream every 2 to 3 days, blah 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 blah. Anyway, let's get started. Now this is where I'm in the line of fire. It's not what you want to do, kids. Pershing. So these tanks are taking fire after I've spotted them. Ow, which gets me points for assist, but I don't want to expose my rear armor to anything that's behind me because I know there's a lot of power up there. So that's where all the TDs are hanging out. Got him. That's right, look away, dumbass. Ow. Bastard. Fine, I shall run away. You will never have my sweet ass again. Hopefully nobody hits me from behind. Damn, how did I get hit for 70%? Was that one shot? Oh, the WZ hit me a while ago. Okay. You're the one behind me, but you're going the other way. What do you mean? What tank are you in? Hang on, let me see here. I don't see you in the game. Oh, Shiza, what have I done? I'm an idiot. Now I gotta get it over here. I'm looking at the frickin' team rosters, trying to look for a Golden Freddy, but I can't see one, so... You're distracting me, man! That's intentional. He's on the other team, I bet. Let me see. Nope. Alright, well, I don't understand then. Hello, Golden. How you doing? Alright, so let's get in here. Let's help out this 155, put it down. Let's get over to this hill and spot something. Getting some assist points. Homie, yes sir. There's the low again. And he missed me, dumbass. My buddy didn't miss, yeah. He gave me lots of assist points. Come on out, don't be a bitch. Oh, you missed. You suck. Oh, hang on. Low. Whop. I'm gonna try to get him again, because he's exposing the side of his turret real bad. I'm sucking after midnight. Oh, shit. Come on, let me get him. Oh, I didn't pin the front panel? Come on. There we go. I was like, I know that tank. I own that tank. It's not that good. You knew I should have been playing this side the whole time, huh? See what we can spot. Nope, okay. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and load AP and move up. AP is actually, this is a pretty unique situation. AP is the premium ammunition for this tank. Usually AP is the regular, but apparently it's a uniquely designed armor-penetrating ammunition. Got him. Nice, moving. I'm spotted, though. Probably by the Ag Panthers, so I might be okay. Let's see what I can spot. Hopefully the UDES doesn't spot me first. Hopefully I get to the artillery first. Yep. Oh, you cheating bitch. I'm gonna get him way before he drowns. You suck. Get the fuck out of here. You give RD players a bad name. Alright, the 4005 is all there. Ooh, he missed me. That sucks to be him. Now I'm gonna hit him with some HE from... Oh, no, I missed. One. Give me a shot on him. Damn it! The turret of the 4005, like I said, is very thin. But he has an incredible gun. If he had hit me, I would have been in trouble. But I was able to respond and get some HE at him. Neither of which hit him. If they had, they would have penetrated for full damage. But, whatever. No complaining here. That was a great game. That was a very good game. Did a lot of spotting. Yeah, 5 boxes. I'll take them. Let's open them up real quick. See what we have going. Now these are the free boxes they give you after each battle during the holiday event. You know, repair kits, 15,000 credits, whatever. The last couple boxes I opened though had like 500,000 credits. It's the paid for boxes, the holiday ops. And the best thing is that for your, you know, $1.18 per box at 75 boxes, you're able to get a shitload of gold. Like, you're guaranteed to get $2.50 worth of gold out of every $1.18 box. Then you get premium tanks, premium time, you know, extra credits. I got 500,000 credits out of a couple of my boxes. So, anyway, LT-432 did a very good job. Lots of spotting damage, a little bit of base cap. Yeah, it's very good for a light tank. Look at that. I had almost the first place in experience, and I'm a light tank. Everyone else was way behind. Except, of course, the 5A up there. 112,326 credit profit. Yeah. Alright, let's play the Progetto here. This is the Tier 8. My mic is getting kind of AIDS. What do you mean by that? I thought it sounded great. Hang on. Bum bum blah-dum, bum bum blah-dum. Blah 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 blah. Trying to extend the cable a bit, and it's not working. Hope you can hear me okay. It's crackling. Yo, I'm crackling. Yeah, it's pretty much... That's all I can do, so I hope I fixed it a little bit. Alright, so I don't like this map very much for mediums. I don't like mediums in general, but whatever. You can barely understand me. Damn it. Alright, hang on. Shit. I bet the whole last game was crap then, too. I bet you couldn't hear me at all. Okay. Testing.